introduce you.
Cristalería. Comenzaremos nuestras lecciones de flair empezando por la cristalería, puesto que para hacer un cóctel lo que primero necesitamos es un vaso. El primer movimiento que aprenderemos es la rotación en palma de mano, que es un movimiento que se puede utilizar con cocteleras, vasos o botellas. Para comenzar este movimiento debemos abrir nuestra palma de la mano, estirar nuestros dedos hacia detrás y colocar el vaso en esta posición superior de la palma. Para lograr este movimiento debemos colocar nuestro dedo índice y pulgar un poco arriba del centro del vaso y sujetarlo de esta manera. Acercamos el vaso a nuestro cinturón y le damos la rotación. Utilizamos nuestro dedo índice para darle el impulso necesario para la rotación mientras se desliza por nuestra palma de la mano. Una vez que hayas logrado dominar este movimiento, practica con la otra mano. Una vez que logres dominar este movimiento, puedes realizarlo con muchísimas cosas del bar. Terminando este ejercicio, continuamos con el lanzamiento de atrape por detrás de la cabeza sin giro. En este movimiento parece que el vaso es atrapado después de la cabeza, pero en realidad debemos colocar la palma de la mano frente a nosotros para que podamos ver el lanzamiento. De esta forma evitamos que el vaso nos pueda golpear en nuestra cara, ya que lo atraparemos al lado de nuestra cabeza. Lanzamos, observamos y lo traemos de vuelta. Una vez que el vaso vaya a golpear nuestra mano, debemos seguir el movimiento para amortiguar el golpe. Continuando desde esta misma posición, también podemos hacer un lanzamiento de atrape por detrás de nuestra espalda. Para este atrape, practicamos primeramente lanzar el vaso y cogerlo sobre nuestro hombro. De esta manera. Una vez que estemos listos, colocamos nuestra otra mano por detrás de nuestra cintura con el nudillo del dedo pulgar justo encima de nuestro cinturón, extendiendo la mano con la palma hacia arriba, siempre estirada y mirando hacia arriba. Entonces debes tirar el vaso hacia arriba, por encima del hombro, rotar el hombro hacia el lado contrario y hacer la captura con la otra mano. Si lo intentamos de nuevo, veremos cómo yo lo lanzo por encima del hombro, roto, lo atrapo. Siempre rotando el hombro. Este movimiento es la forma natural de comenzar un lanzamiento por detrás de la espalda. Para que nos salga bien el lanzamiento, deberemos utilizar los dos dedos índices para empujar el vaso por detrás de la espalda. Atraemos el vaso formando una línea recta imaginaria con nuestro hombro y a partir de ahí hacemos el lanzamiento. Se puede capturar el vaso con la otra mano o podemos lanzar y capturar el vaso con la misma mano que lanza. Bueno, ahora repasemos los movimientos aprendidos. Rotación, lanzamiento a la cabeza, lanzamiento a la cintura, lanzamiento al frente. Bueno, ahora veremos un movimiento que requiere un poco más de práctica y es un poco más complicado, que involucra dos vasos. Sujetamos los dos vasos con una sola mano y los apretamos firmemente. Lo que haremos es lanzar los dos vasos al aire. Entonces atraparemos el vaso delantero con la misma mano que lanzamos. Y el vaso trasero lo atraparemos con la otra mano por detrás de la espalda. Así luce el movimiento. Primero lo juntamos, luego lo lanzamos y le damos un buen recorrido para poder ver el vaso que atrapamos por detrás. Una vez más, lo juntamos, hacemos el lanzamiento con recorrido y atrapamos. Y comenzamos a llenar los hielos. Cocteleras. Las cocteleras son muy buenas porque podemos practicar con ellas, trabajar con ellas y no se rompen cuando se caen al piso. Pero Cuando se caen, hacen mucho ruido. El primer movimiento que vamos a...
Welcome to Behind the Glass with Dean Serneels. Hope everybody can hear me okay. We had audio issues the first show. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We have a fantastic show planned for you today. We do have a thunderstorm in Cuba. The thunderstorm in Cuba is causing us a few technical glitches and issues, so our guest today may or may not be on the show. We'll see. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We have Ariel, the King Trelles, joining us today on the show. But first, let's see if we can teach you a little bit of magic. This magic is money-making magic behind the bar, where we can actually just take a few coins and grab them and toss them in the air, just like so. Sometimes I like to play with my guests and take the change that they left on the bar and pass it right through the bar, just like so. Just like so. You see, it came right through the bar. It gets us a lot of options to interact with our guests and have some fun with them. I just get to take the coins and say, hey, are you sure you don't want to hang on to those? And make the coins disappear. It's something that's called the French drop, and I'm going to teach you the French drop at the end of the show. It's a right-handed cup. All right, let's check to make sure the audio's going. You guys can hear me. Beautiful. That's on the MacBook Pro volume. All right. Hey, I've got a Pusser's Rum cocktail. Special thanks to my friends at Pusser's. But let me show you guys a new addition that we just made to the studio. I know I posted something on Instagram the other day. Dean Serneels on Instagram. And there was a big fail. There was an earthquake here, and I lost all my bottles. Come on over here. There it is. Oh, look at that. I got my second camera. This is the close-up camera. Come on over here. This is the spirit cabinet, and I'll put all my lights on, show it all off. Boom. There it is. Here's the spirit cabinet. Now, what I wanted you guys to see is our friends at Pusser's, a very good friend of mine, Steve Dingley. We actually met 20 years ago or something like that. Sent me some fun Pusser's stuff because we talked about him the other day on the show. And I wanted to add Pusser's to the spirit cabinet as our very first guest on the show, guest spirit on the show. And we'll be back to make some other cocktails today using some Uncle Nearest. All right? Good stuff. So let's make a cocktail. Trivia. All right. Uncle Nearest was known as the first African-American master distiller. What was his given name? Was it Nearest Green, Nathan Green, or CeeLo Green? All right, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about stirring a cocktail. It's November. We're well into the fall, and I wanted to make a cool fall cocktail for you guys today. All right. And I want to start off with a good whiskey. We're using the Uncle Nearest whiskey today. It's fairly new to the market. It's a really nice whiskey, and as part of our trivia question, is made by or celebrates the life of Uncle Nearest. All right, he was the first African-American master distiller, taught Jack Daniels everything he knows about making whiskey. So for this cocktail, I'm just going to make the Boulevardier. Starting with 1.5 ounces of great whiskey. My Boulevardiers, I prefer to use Aperol. It's not as sharp as Campari is. 1.5 ounces. I'm an equal parts kind of guy. And a nice sweet vermouth, all right? Don't save your pennies on a sweet vermouth. Buy some really nice sweet vermouth. It has lots of great flavors in it, great raisin flavors, and it's a nice sweet and rich spirit, all right? And we're going to stir this cocktail. When we stir a cocktail, we want to take the bowl of the spoon and push it up against the edge of the glass and spin that around the inside of the glass and bring it right down inside. All right? So spinning it, I'm rolling my fingers around the spoon like so. Here we go. So I'm rolling my spoon in my fingers. That's one of the reasons why there's a spindle on the spoon, to make it nice and easy to stir that cocktail up. Get something going really fast. Now, it's really hard to overstir a cocktail. So you can get this going and let it sit. I make another cocktail, my chocolate old fashioned, that I really like to just let sit with the ice cubes. I let it sit and let it mature with the ice and really chill out. It's a beautiful cocktail. So sometimes I don't like to serve it too soon. I want to let it sit and let it get to know the ice cubes, get a little bit of water off the ice cubes. And here we go. There's just one chunk of ice. I need another one. Woo! 2 chunks of ice. So we're stirring the cocktail with ice and then straining over top of fresh ice, just like so. So don't be afraid of overstirring it. You want to get lots of water in there. It makes the drink much smoother, a lot softer. All right. And my orange zest. I'm not going to teach you how to do the orange zest today because our guest on the show is talking about how to do the flamed orange zest. So I just like to squirt the orange zest over top, just like so, and drop it in. And there is the Boulevardier. All right, great cocktail. I've got something to sip on. Here's the answer to our trivia question. As the first African-American master distiller, Uncle Nearest's given name was Nathan Green. All right, our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that our connection works. We're going to bring him on through Messenger as opposed to using the software we're trying to use. And I think that's a technical issue because there's a bad storm I was actually connecting with our guest a few minutes ago, and he said that all of his power went out and the lights went out. So if that happens again, I'm going solo, but we'll definitely have him back. Our guest today, for me, represents a full circle of what I've always been working on for bartending. I've got 30 plus years behind the wood in many different aspects. Working behind the bar, I was making drinks, I was doing some flair, I was doing some magic, and other bartenders were like, "What are you doing, man? Why are you doing all that stuff?" And I would have guests come up to me and say, I love your job here, but when are you going to get a real job? And that bothered me because I really, really loved the job, and I really loved working behind the bar. I had an audience. It was never the same thing, and I got to thinking, what is a real job? And I think this definition was a 9-to-5 job where you're doing the same thing. You're guaranteed your paycheck, and until this pandemic, bars and restaurants, we were always guaranteed a paycheck. It kind of flowed. It was up and down. But we had always great money coming in, and tip money is always fantastic. So I always loved the job, and part of what's driven me through the last 30 years of bartending, and most of the last 20 where I've been teaching, is trying to share the amazing things of the craft of bartending with other bartenders, and trying to inspire other bartenders. So when we had all the training DVDs and the training tools, it was always about inspiring bartenders. So come up to 2020. Now we've got a young bartender on the show today. This guy has studied all aspects of the craft. He knows how to do some flair. He's been studying flair. He's been studying how to craft cocktails, and he knows how to make fabulous drinks. And he has a goal of hitting the cruise ships. He wants to get on the cruise ships, but right now he's in Cuba. So right after this bad bar joke, we're going to meet Ariel Alfonso Trelles.
And now, Bad Bar Jokes with Dean Serneels.
A guy walks into a bar with a giraffe and says, "A beer for me and one for the giraffe." They both drink the beer down. Then, "A shot for me and one for the giraffe." This goes on all evening when finally the giraffe passes out on the floor. The guy pays his tab and starts to leave the bar. The bartender shouts out, "You're not just going to leave that lying on the floor, are you?" "That's not a lion," the man replies. "That's a giraffe."
This has been Bad Bar Jokes with Dean Serneels.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to a very good friend of mine who has done a lot of great things for me personally. He actually translated all of the Flairco DVDs. You haven't seen them yet. I haven't posted them all, but I'm going to when we get into 2021. Please put your hands together and let's cross our fingers and hope Messenger's going to save the day for us. Please put your hands together for Ariel Alfonso Trelles. There he is. All right, let's get your volume turned all the way up and see if we can't make sure. Hey, Nick Hauk, I know you're out there. Let me know if you can hear Ariel speaking. Ariel, introduce yourself for just a few seconds.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Lee. How are you, Lee? This is awesome. Thanks for having me in this show today. I am really excited.
Scroll all the way down.
Happy for being here today.
Scroll all the way down. Good stuff. Hey, thanks. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody can hear you. I hope they can. We're not sure. We haven't done the show this way where we're just sharing the screen. So we're going to have Ariel teach us a few tricks behind the bar. And we're going to have some fun with them there. Now, I'm actually centered on his screen over here. Looking good, Ariel Trelles. Nick Hauk. You can drag that down there if you can. Poor Allison here. She's trying to work from all kinds of different angles because we're trying to make this work for her. God for, yeah. Volume is very low. Thank you very much, Nick. We're going to try to get Ariel, if you could speak really loud for us.
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm very happy for being here. I just
Click
want
on
to
the
say
mic.
that I really appreciate the opportunity. You are a great person, Dia, and inspiring for all the young bartenders out there.
Click on that, see what happens.
I am very happy for being here.
Okay. All right. Very good. Ariel, we're going to get on with this, and we're going to have you teach us a couple of moves. You're going to teach us a couple of flair moves today. Is that right?
Oh,
Yeah, of course.
That might be it. All right. Now, if anybody's watching, they love Ariel. He's a great, he's a dynamic guy. He's a lot of fun to talk to, and he's learning everything about bartending. He's working to get on a cruise ship. There, the lights have gone out. Isn't that crazy? We're going live. This is what live's all about. That's so great. I can still see you, though. So the lights went out. I can hardly hear him either, folks. I'm so sorry, but he looks great. Hey, you want to flare in the dark for us?
Yeah, I can teach you the flying trick that you already talked about. Let's get started with the lemon peel, and we are going to grab my flying filter from Nick Hall, and this is my trick. You already know this trick, Dion, but some people know. If you
You keep going, man. You keep going.
So you take the line, and you squeeze the line, and the line releases the essential oil. And if you took a flame and you put it out here, you see how much fun I'm having with my speed. You can use this for for garnish for the drinks like this. And I got another great trick for with the orange or a lime. You take a lime, get all the inside, and you put some alcohol, and you place it on the drink. Take your torch, super torch, light up, and this is what you're going to have. Can you see it?
Okay. Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks really great, especially in the dark. I'm glad you had the city turn the lights out for you.
Especially in the light.
That looks great.
Yeah, you can do it with overproof room like Bacardi 151 or Havana Club, wherever you have with a high graduation of alcohol ABV.
That's great. Ariel, we looks like we're not going to be able to teach flair in the dark today, but you were talking to me earlier when we were connected and we were kind of chatting before the show. You're trying to get on a cruise ship, right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
So tell me, you were telling me about what you needed to do to get on the cruise ship, and I was blown away by this big long list of things.
Yeah, for the cruise ship, you need to speak various languages. English very fluid. I know that I'm not a native English speaker, but I can speak English. I can speak English in a proper way to communicate with people. So that's the principal thing of the cruise ship. You need also pass a navigation school who is going to teach you how to survive in case of an emergency on the ship, so many other things. You also need to have a good shape a health in order to work many hours in the ship, vaccines, medical examinations, a lot of things. Yeah.
That's amazing that you have to. Like, I had no idea. I've clearly never bartended on a cruise ship before. I had no idea you had to go through so much. I hope you don't break that glass with it burning like that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Good stuff.
You know what? One day, I took a glass hot and put it in the cool water, and he breaks. So don't do that. Never.
Right. Yeah, I've had glasses break on me before as well, just by letting the fire burn in there. Um, you've studied every part of bartending now, right?
Yeah, I study and
Take the
doing
picture.
courses online most to all. Yes, I was a student for the EBS, European Bartender School, Instituto Argentine Institute of Cocktailery,
Wow.
many other places.
So you're getting the same cocktail training from different
Yeah,
bars, from
different
EBS, the
school. Yeah,
European Bartending School, right?
yeah, that's right.
And then
I,
in
I
Argentina.
also was a student for uh, I kind of nervous. From mixology course from King's Toonstal, About Above is the name.
What was that?
About Above,
About a booze?
Above. Yeah, from King's Toonstal is a great mixology course.
That's great. So, what's inspired you to? Like, I was talking when I introduced you, I talked about the fact that I think bartenders need to know some flair. They need to know how to make drinks very well, and they need to be fast and efficient. I was talking to a bartender last night, a longtime friend who was talking to me about, oh, I'm a fast bartender, I'm a speed bartender, I don't need all that flair stuff. Um, but you're clearly doing all of it. So, what parts do you like to study the most, and why are you? What has inspired you to do all different pieces?
I think that speed is great behind the bar. And study is great for your knowledge, but flair is the fun part, and everybody should do it. People love flair. Even here, when I do flair, the customers say, "Hey, wow, that's amazing!" So I think flair is a great thing, and it's the fun part of the bartending.
What parts of mixology do you like the most?
What?
What parts about mixology do you like the most? The crafting of the cocktails.
I love the part of mixing the exact amount of the ingredients for making a cocktail, because it's so important to have mixology knowledge to perform a great cocktails. Like the sweet and sour, the level of acidity and sugar, those kind of knowledge.
That's great. So where are you going from here? Do you have more tests to do? How do you get into the cruise ships?
Right now, I have to wait until my company search me a foreigner ship company who wants to hire me, but it's going to happen soon, I guess. I'm going to be on board soon.
So you're saying your company. So you've already been hired by a cruise ship company?
We have a company here in Cuba who manage my, like, how do you say, my resume, my videos, and they send it to MSC, Royal Caribbean, and those companies, and they made the thing for me.
That's great. I didn't know such a service was out there. I guess there must be services like that help people get into cruise ships for, yeah, like an agent, I guess, that works for all the different cruise lines, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's excellent. So I'm just trying to think, if I want to get into a cruise ship, or anybody else that's watching that says, hey, I want to take bartending and get on a cruise ship, they should be in touch with you, right?
Yeah, of course. Every country have this kind of company, this kind of agency who manage the people who to work in a cruise ship. The cruise ship company have direct communication with they. So every country have this kind of agency.
Mo Harris is a friend of ours who's on Facebook watching the show right now. He's asking, he needs an agent like that. So where do we send him to find an agent? How does he Google a cruise ship agent?
Mo Harry is amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
He was one of my first bartending teacher, flair bartending teacher. I see his video, Monkey See, on the website a few years ago.
Great. Well, I'm going to have to post his site up. I want to see it myself. I haven't seen that. And Nick Hauk is watching as well.
Nick Hauk is amazing. Nick Hauk is the most legitimate person that I never met before.
How has he inspired you? Hey! Oh, I love it. I love it. You know, I just love live. It's so much fun. You just don't know what the heck's going to happen.
Totally.
Yeah, pulling my hair out here. My poor girlfriend, Allison, she's like, I don't know what to do. So we're making it work. Yeah, she's holding the microphone over top of the laptop so everybody can hear you.
So what do you think if we start with the tricks?
Yeah, if you want to show us a trick, we'd love to see it.
Let's go start. We are going to start with the two cup opening methods, you know? So this is the first method that I learned in bartending a few years ago. With the forearm, the cups, you take it like this and open up. What do you think?
That's really fun. I've never done that myself.
The second method, don't try this because if you have coronavirus, it's like this. With your nose, you open the cup, wait for it, and blow it up. And catch the cup.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Don't do this if you have coronavirus.
We are going to continue with pouring techniques from...
Son of a bugger. Oh, that's too funny. I hope you've got something to drink over there. You know, everybody, Ariel has been so excited, and I talked to him earlier, and he was just so excited to show everything and teach today. And this is so funny that this is just falling apart. I'm so sorry. It's not falling apart. We're having a great conversation.
The guy who is working in the electrician company is playing with me.
We're learning how to deal with it, right? And that's the beauty of live, and I hope everybody at home is having a laugh along with us. Tell us about how Nick has inspired you, because he's in the U.S., and how has he helped you from the U.S. with you living in Cuba?
Of course. Nick watched me doing flair a few years ago, and he was the first person who believed in me. He is Kingdom and Hero. He talked with me, and he said, I'm going to Cuba. What do you need? And I say, I need flair bottles. And he brings me my first flair bottles. I don't have words to thank Nick for what he does and all the support that he do. These stores that you see come from Nick, and all my bartending equipment is from Nick Hauk. Nick Hauk is an amazing guy.
And you can't, we can't ship you things to Cuba, right? You can't order things online?
No, he brings me in 2 hours all my flair equipment.
Wow.
That's really amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Nick's watching. He says, I love you, bro.
I love you too, Nico.
Nick, I have a great big box of all of my old Flair DVDs, all of Ken Hall's stuff and Rodrigo's stuff, and I'm going to give all of it to Nick to take to you if I don't come down and see you myself. I want to bring Allison down. We want to go down to Cuba and see you when all of this pandemic stuff is over.
You are more than welcome, you and Allison.
That would be wonderful. Maybe we'll catch up with Nick there at the same time.
Nick is coming soon, so you can talk with him and come together with Nick.
What are the travel restrictions right now?
Yeah.
Can we travel to Cuba now, or?
No, right now the airport is closed, but it will open soon.
Right. Let's hope so. Right. Is COVID going to stop you from getting on a cruise, or? I guess there's no cruises running right now.
Yeah, it's no cruise running right now. Few person, a few cruise working, few person, but it's going to happen some days again. It's going to open again someday.
Wow. Wow.
I don't
Well,
lose. I don't lose my hope.
no, you know, you've got a great attitude and you're still smiling. Oh, Nick says he'd like to come with us. All right, Nick, it's on. Nick and Allison and I and Nick's wife are going to come down to Cuba as soon as the borders open, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe in the spring. Maybe in the spring. There we go. Hey, Ariel, will you come back on the show when it's not storming down there or when we figured out this technology?
Yeah, sure. I can appear when the lights go out, go out. When the lights appears, I go out of the show again.
Your English is 100% better than my Spanish. I'll promise you that.
I also speak German, and I'm going to start studying French.
Oh,
Wow.
goodness.
Good for you. Good for you. You know, it's so much different. It's so much different. Oh, you're flashing on and off. All right.
Yeah, this is a madness.
Ariel, I'm going to get back. I got a bar trick to teach everybody here. I want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody who watched through the show and was cheering Ariel on here. We're looking forward to having you back on the show when we've got the technology rolling a little smoother and when we've got the lights on. Maybe we'll record something during the day just in case.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Good stuff. Ariel, thank you very much, and thanks for all the translating you've done for me. I'll let you know when I get those other videos up. We'll see you. We'll see you soon. Okay.
Okay, Dean, thanks for having me in the show. I'm very happy for you.
All right. Thank you very much, man. We'll see you soon. All right. Cool.
All
right. Good stuff.
Thank you.
There we go, Ariel, the King Trelles. Alfonso translates into the king, of course. So Ariel, the King Trelles, joining us today. Obviously, we've got some technical issues, but we're gonna carry on anyway. So I promised that I would teach a magic trick at the end of the show here. So it's the French drop. My bar trick of the day is called the French drop, where we take a coin or anything that you can fit in your hand and we make it disappear from hand to hand. Let me show you that on the close-up cam. Whoosh.
Here you go.
Maybe in the spring. There it is. All right. We're going to take this coin. I'm holding it between these two fingers, and I just grab it and blow it just like that. All right? One more time. This time, I'm actually going to take the coin and push it and just smash it right on top of the bar and see as it disappears. Just like that. That's called the French drop, and I don't like to give away magic on this show or on the internet, but this is a well-known, it's kind of open, it's kind of out there. So many magicians do it, and it doesn't really belong to any specific magician that I know of. Anyway, we're going to go back to the big camera so I can tell you everything we've got going on with this money-making trick, all right? So earlier I had my little bouncy ball. I used to travel around doing magic in restaurants, and I'd use the bouncy ball as an introduction. I would just stand there in front of people bouncing the ball, and they'd think, who's this jackass bouncing a ball in front of me? And then I'd just bounce the ball and throw it down and make it disappear. All right? It's all using the French drop. So let me show you how that works. So the French drop, the ball is between my my middle finger and my thumb. It just drops into my palm like that, okay? But when it drops into my palm, I turn my palm backwards so that the guest can only see the back of my hand, all right? Let's go to the close-up on that one. All right, there it is. It just drops down. And notice how it just kind of hides behind my hand there. All right, so I'm palming it. This is a term called palming, where we just grab the ball gently like that, and we can hold it. Try to keep your fingers open and moving, because if you go like that, then obviously something's going on. So palming. Now, when I come over here, I make a curtain, and everything disappears for just a second, and that's when I drop the ball and pretend to have it in my hand, all right? So keep in mind to keep this hand in the shape of what should be in it. So I don't grab it and go like that because obviously there's nothing in my hand, but I grab it and just like that. The big movement covers the little movement, and the little movement is my hand slowly sneaking the ball away, blowing on it, making it disappear. How does this make money behind the bar? It's a great visual. Over there, it's a great visual where our guests can watch and just be like, hey, what's going on? Or when they leave change on the bar, again, I can take this change, and now that you know what's going on, if I take the change and smash it on the bar and bring it up, it looks like the change is falling through the bar, all right? One of my biggest money-making tricks was taking the change that people would leave on the bar, and no, they'd give me a 20, and I'd come back with their change and say, hey, would you like the change? And then I'd make it disappear. As they were holding out their hand, I would make the money disappear and then just leave it on the bar with my other hand. Kind of gave away the trick because it was obviously in my other hand, but it was a fun visual, and people would go, oh, what? Keep it, man. So I always got to keep the change when I did the French drop for a trick. All right, so very fun trick, the French drop. Go practice it. There's all kinds of places on the internet nowadays to go learn that as well. Okay, nice and simple. Great way to start using and making some tricks happen right in your hand. That's the French drop. Hey, if you want to see Ariel, I think we've got his contact information. There's Ariel's contact information on Instagram. Check him out at Ariel Alfonso Trelles, Facebook, YouTube. You get to follow him. And please tip him today by going and following him, subscribing to him. And don't forget to subscribe to our show as well. Ring that little bell down there so that we know you're following. There's Nick. Nick's got a new trick. Sorry, Ariel, pardon me. Maybe that's the one I just taught him. Ha ha! Thanks, man. Good stuff. Subscribe to us online at Dean Serneels. All of the social media programs. Can we switch to the Dean Serneels? All of the social media stuff now. Dean Serneels on YouTube, Dean Serneels on Instagram, and Facebook, of course. I think there we go. A couple of glitches we've got it all going today. I've got my eyes right between the legs. Good stuff. Join us again, ladies and gentlemen, and looking forward to seeing you guys at 10 o'clock.